to the Zoom Test Kitchen where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We've got your back, no wreck. We've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in the fun, engaging way.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the kitchen. I just thought of a Zoom question. Okay, before we even say hello to anyone. So I was just playing music, and in order for the people in Zoom to hear that music, I had to turn on the, what's it called?
Original sound.
Original sound. But when I speak, I don't want original sound on. So at the end of the song, I shut it off. You all in Zoom could probably hear maybe the music cut out a little bit. I don't know. But we're streaming to YouTube. My original sound does not affect the audio going to YouTube, correct?
Correct.
So if I didn't have original sound on for that whole song, YouTube would have heard it fine, even
Correct.
though it's streaming from Zoom.
Correct. Oh no, wait a minute. No. I solve that problem because I stream outside of Zoom.
Okay, so if you're the audio that is in the Zoom meeting is the audio that goes out to YouTube.
Correct.
Because that's really controlled from your PC. It's not really done
Right.
centrally.
But Thursday night, when I'm not streaming from Zoom, I'm streaming from Ecamm. I hypothetically, if I didn't care about my panelists hearing the music in Zoom, I wouldn't need to turn it on and off because YouTube can hear it fine because it's going through Ecamm. Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us in the kitchen. That was our one question for the day. Peter Sargent, how you doing, sir?
Not too bad. As I mentioned to Tony earlier, we're preparing for really stupid weather over the weekend down here in Central Texas.
Stupid weather.
Well, freezing rain.
Not cold, not rain. It's just stupid.
Freezing rain. I'll take snow over. I mean, having lived up north, way up north, I'll take snow any day. Freezing rain is just no fun whatsoever.
No, it's not.
John, that's an eerie view you had there.
What?
He was so focused in on his camera, all I saw was his one eye.
Who?
John Drinkwater.
Oh,
John.
Okay. Well, Andy just became a cow, so I don't know. Yeah, okay. I got my swag too. John. Thank you. Tony Mobley, how you doing, sir?
I am fine, and I'm facing stupid weather also.
And Tony's also keeping an eye on YouTube, everyone. So if you're watching us on YouTube, say hi to Tony. Ray Harwood, how are you?
Doing well, Dave.
Didn't you say you had meetings today?
No, that was Ray Franklin. That's the other Ray.
Oh, Ray Franklin. See, you Rays.
Yeah.
Oh, you Rays.
Yeah, rays of sunshine like we have here in Phoenix.
Rays of sunshine.
Yeah.
What's with the matching shirts?
I don't know. I just felt like wearing my shirt for a variety of reasons that I'm sure John and I will talk about.
Okay. Well, now I'm anxious to hear about that. John, how you doing, sir?
I am so unbelievably humbled by Zoom today.
What? Really? What? I don't know what to make of that.
John's got his shirt on too. See, we didn't coordinate that either.
What am I missing, guys? What am I missing? Is there something big?
I saw your post. Congrats.
Yeah, it is something big.
Wait. Let me just quickly say hi to Andy.
Yeah.
Hi, Andy. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
You too.
And say hi to Tamara.
Hello.
Hello. And Frank is here, and Lois is popping in, and Hasmuk. And now I need to hear what happened. So
well, there's two things really, and John, I'm just going to cover the one thing, and then I'll toss to you. Okay. The big thing to me is the new release of the Zoom community. It's been shut down for about a week while they import all of this data over into a new format. Several of us have already found a couple of things that we want to tweak a little bit, and some of those have been easy, and some of those kind of have to be, pushed out for a while. But everything that was there before has been brought over, but there's a couple of things that are slightly different. One of those is we used to be able to mark multiple solutions to a particular post, and now this platform will only take one solution. So where there used to be multiple, there's only one. But other than that, I think it's a much cleaner look and gets you right into the right forum area if you pay attention to where you're going and making your post. And it's been good.
So this is we'll just let me quickly show people, and you all will tell me if I'm showing the wrong thing. But basically, this is when you go to Zoom community, community.zoom.com. This is what you see. There is a Discover What's New button up here, but you can search quickly. Getting started just takes you to sort of the steps that you should do.
If you're a newbie to doing any of this stuff, that's a good place to start.
Yep. And then we've got Ask the Community. And this is really just a form that you fill out. And then I imagine, posts that question to the forums, which is not the knowledge base. So the knowledge base is really their, I think, support pages mostly. And then the product forums is where I believe those questions would get posted, if I'm not incorrect.
Yeah,
and they have it
in the
set.
past there was meetings and webinars and Zoom Workplace and Zoom Phone and Zoom this and Zoom that, and I think that they've maybe changed the naming a little bit because to me it's much clearer when I go in what you're really talking about, or it's ordered differently or something. It just looks better to me.
Gotcha. So
Or maybe it's just new.
you can go to the actual place that you want to go, or so if I click on meetings, for example, it'll just take me into what looks somewhat familiar.
Yeah, the product
the-
menu at the top. After the logo of the Zoom community, there's a menu called products. That's it. If you click on that, you can see different forums that are available. So everything's been broken
okay.
down
So this
nicely.
is yet another way to find them. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, what's the difference between start a discussion and ask a question from before? Do you know?
Nothing. I think they're both one and the same.
Yeah, it takes you to the same. It looks like it takes you to the same form. So yeah, so if I click in, it shows me as solved. How is it determined that an answer solves the problem?
It's usually marked by the person who posted or one of the Zoom community staff.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
So in the future, if somebody looks at that question, there's there's a highlight to the post that supposedly answers that question. I say supposedly because sometimes posts, this is why the one solution is a bit annoying for us. Sometimes somebody will ask a question and we will answer it, but it then kicks on another conversation, and then you need another solution for another conversation, which is what they don't support just yet, but never mind.
They technically refer to it as the best answer. So you might get an answer from someone that is a pretty good answer, but then John jumps in with some more detail or whatever, and that can be then marked as the best answer, and it works.
Right. Well, but you can't do that anymore, I think is what you're saying.
No, it's just the best answer. We can say, oh, this was good, but it wasn't the best answer. Some answer down below is the best answer, and then it would be marked, and the other would be unmarked as the best answer.
Okay. So here, okay. So the question is here. Ignore this for just a moment. All the replies are down here.
Correct.
And then whichever one is marked as the best reply, then I imagine gets pinned up here.
Yeah, and that's the same behavior that we had before, actually.
Yep. And you also have on the main page, you've got the little check mark that shows, and ones that don't have a good answer have the question mark still there.
Yep.
And you can see people answering. Great. Frank, did you want to jump in real quick?
Maybe. John kind of covered some of it. On the old forum, one of the things I found annoying was, and this is true on all forums, I don't know if you used forums a lot in the past, but there's a topic, very clear topic, and people have something similar but not on topic, and they'll post their question in there and dogpile on, and then you've got 7 different conversations going on in the same thread. That's usually a resource issue with not enough moderation, but I mean, obviously for a company like Zoom to have enough moderators to keep up with the planet would be difficult, but it would be nice if they could enforce go start your own thread if it's a different question, because then in the old community forum you would get people saying that's a solution, and then 5 other people say it's not a solution to the question I asked, and it just bounced around a lot, and it was very aggravating.
Yeah, that's hard to do automatically, but there was actually communication from the Zoom community team back when that we didn't want to pull people out of one thread into a brand new thread. A couple of us said, nah, that's not the way I do it, and I kind of side with Frank a little bit, but we kind of try and do what they tell us to do most of the time.
I wonder if that's something that AI could solve, that Zoom's AI could solve. You know, if you're typing in a question and the AI knows all the other questions that are similar in nature or connected, couldn't it, I don't know about lumping them together, but somehow create a connection?
If it was me, I would use AI to prompt the user to say, look, we've looked at your question, we've looked at the main question that's in this thread. they're different, and I see other questions over here. Would you like me to put your post over in the other place where it's relevant?
Right.
Ask the user first, and some people are not going to obey, and those could be marked for review later, sort of a thing. But yeah, AI could certainly be helpful in that area, I think.
I believe this is one of the reasons why they've changed to this new platform, because there are AI opportunities in the future, which is why it's great that they pulled all of the data from the previous forum over to this forum, because once they do work out that way to automate some of the help, they're going to have that big knowledge base of all the answers previously to work from as well.
To train the AI on, or
We've gone backwards a bit as far as the features are concerned for us as helpers on the community forum, because we've gone back to the vanilla standard version of this new package. But I understand there are much more opportunities for Zoom to be able to customize it and add new features and extend its function with this platform than there would be with the previous one.
We'll make it our own over time.
Yeah.
What was, is there anything else about the community that is worth, I will say, sorry, let me, when you were introducing this to us, Ray, and I first came here, I didn't know where to find the conversations. It wasn't immediately obvious to me that that's product forums. I went to ask the community thinking that I would see the conversations there, and all I saw was the chance to start one.
Yeah, click on the category there, David, and
oh, I'm sorry, go on here.
Where you were. And so there's your products and meetings and those sorts of things in there.
No, but what I'm saying is I think that when I have a question, what I want to do before I ask it is search the chat and discussions. And all I'm saying is that, and this maybe this is on me.
You're a unicorn. Nobody, like 90% of people never go to, like, my question's original. No one's ever asked this before. Meanwhile, there's 7,000 versions of that question that have been answered.
Okay. I guess I'm just saying, I didn't, product forums to me,
can you type something in?
Obvious that, I'm sorry?
Can you type something in?
Sure.
Because there is an AI system already running.
Oh, look at this. Okay. So, how do I mute myself? So you've got view AI summary. Let's see what that does.
What about all that stuff listed?
Oh, it's generating it up here. Muting yourself in Zoom meeting is simple. Okay, so this is actually nice.
Yeah. David, wasn't there a whole list of questions already having been asked?
Yes. So if I go back, hi Lois, by the way.
They were currently down below your AI
right there
as well.
Yeah. So
104
how
results.
do I zoom myself? How do I mute myself? Huh, sorry. That's interesting. Why is it only giving me? It had like thousands of results before. All right. In any case, host co-host settings. So these are other questions.
Well, and AI just searches content to see anything that really is sort of relevant, not necessarily by title.
It found the word mute, and so it. Interesting.
Like any AI, it's not perfect, but it's better than using just Google.
Right. The truth is that I think the best, if you have a question, see, now I'm curious though, why? So why would I, given what Frank said, why would I do this and not just do, like, I wonder what happens if I fill this form out. I don't actually want to start a.
That's where you started.
Okay. So do, Erica, okay. So meetings, mute. How, there, look at that. Okay. Do I mute myself? I don't actually want to start something here. I'm afraid that if I click go.
Make sure you put that in the billing category like most people would.
So
Or,
if someone,
now-
virtual assistant because you really just want some help. Yeah.
if,
All right. Now, if I click one of these, it will take me to that. Okay. I guess my question is why, and maybe it's intentional, but it seems duplicative to me to have this here and then also this down here, especially when this seems to me is going to actually give me the answer. Whereas
Well,
this is going to
different people will approach it from different things.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
As a old VP used to say of a company that I worked for, 7 times 7 ways. You got to put it out there so everybody will find it.
Yep.
so David, if someone is already in the Zoom community as you are, and I know that because it talked to you personally, you get one thing on your home. I've never been to the Zoom community. I get something different. I don't
Yeah.
get a question mark right at the top. I've got getting started to ask the community knowledge base. So I'm going to start with the one on the left and work my way over. And when I do that, when I go to getting started, there's an explanation of everything.
Right. So we looked at that already. So actually, I'm glad you said that, and thank you. I just logged out because that's how most people will visit this. They won't be logged in. So I still have the search the Zoom community up at the top there.
You refreshed because
Yeah.
I don't have that. I'm not logged in and I don't have that.
I do.
Are you at the top level page, David?
Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not logged in. Let me go into a incognito just to see. .zoom.com. Yeah, I have it there.
Well, that's interesting.
Here's the discover what's new. Yeah, so just different for whatever reason, different experiences. It's important to remember that Zoom probably has different versions of this out for different regions because they're testing, perhaps.
I have
Maybe.
an answer. I have an answer. I'm on Zoom. I'm watching you guys. I've opened this window. It's not very wide. If I make it wider, suddenly, magically, the question.
That's called responsive sizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't see it.
Oh yeah. So here it is.
Yep.
Right. So if I make it smaller, you don't. That's an interesting choice, actually. That's something I would have wanted to keep on the page, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Or I would
it
have
pops
moved it up or down. I don't see it
Yeah.
at all, though. Okay. Anyway,
Well, the reality is if you're brand new to the community and you've never logged in, we want you to see these 4 things up at the top, and we want you to start with getting started. If you're a champion, or maybe something along the lines of a champion, you would see other stuff. Yeah. Get right into it.
Yeah. So forgive my ignorance here. Again, the difference between when I search the I guess I'm a little confused as to why you need to start. If you can get your answer right here, why do you need to start a discussion?
Because you're going to click the first place you can find to do something. And some people are going to look up there and go, I don't want to search. I want to make a post. And they're going to look at that search the Zoom community and go, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
They'll find the blue button. It's
the same reason every day at work I get 25 tickets, even though we have 17 support sites with search bars about every particular topic you could ever ask, and you would get an answer faster than putting in a support ticket. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
David, I think we've buried the lead. You realize that, right?
I don't. Did I? John,
why do Ron and John have their black T-shirts on?
Ray and John. Okay, Ray and John, why do you have your black T-shirts on?
Well,
and why are we all feeling
they're
left
dark,
out?
They're dark blue. They're Zoom communities. John, toss to you, sir.
Everything else is in the laundry.
He's too humble. He's too humble. Let's not forget. I'm never going to let him forget that the top Zoom community champion for the previous version of this community forums is our Ray. He is the world-class top community champion. And he does look really handsome on the Zoom community champion page. You've had a look at that. You didn't show that, David. The Rogues Gallery of community champions.
If you check the link, I put it in the chat.
I got it. Oh my goodness. I just Googled Zoom community champions and I got a page not found.
Yeah, a lot of the search things haven't caught up yet since it just started off yesterday.
Yeah. All right. Oh my goodness. Well, look who's on the front page of the community champion program.
I see John.
Who's that funny looking guy right there? Who's that funny looking guy? Wait, who's that? Does anyone know who that is? I don't know who that
is. Is that John's Story Hub? John Drinkwater?
I think so.
Okay.
We three of these folks are us. Three of these things are not like the other. All right. So what's the big news? Tell us.
Well, that is us taking pictures of ourselves and uploading them when we were told to quickly, which is good. That's going to be rotated, so we're not going to stay as stars for all eternity. But it is nice to be in the picture of the first few that have been set up.
It is indeed. I wanted Ray to be in the middle, though. You should have had the center spot.
Well, it's Zoom. Can't you move the gallery?
Yeah. Can't we change this to speaker view? Well, congratulations, guys. That's awesome.
Well, I have one.
John's not done yet.
I have one more secret for you.
Uh-oh.
Zoom has created a new program for the top community champions, the ones that don't stop talking about the community and working on the community. Can't tell you what the rules are. Just be hard in the community. And I would like to congratulate the Zoom Test Kitchen because there are only 4 of these super champions and Zoom Test Kitchen owns 2 of them. So well done. You have 50% of the top champions in your group.
Well, my goodness. Congratulations, guys. That's amazing.
And we had no, well, I had no, I don't think Ray had either. We had no idea they were going to do this. They suddenly decided. We got an email and that was it. We were promoted.
So what does this mean? So do you win the Nobel Prize? I mean, what do you get a check, a big, or do you get a shirt and an email and kudos?
A free Zoom
plenty,
tattoo.
by the way.
They get a pat on the back.
Do you at the very least get your Zoom account for free?
Well, they do one thing. They do several things, David, and I think John, you might agree. We don't even know what all the things are yet. The very first thing is that our badge is a little different, and it says Community Super Champion on the actual title page of our profile. The second thing to me has the most value, and that is that as community champions, one of the reasons that I think they pick us is because we bug them all the time incessantly about we found this and we found that and that sort of thing. And they've given us our own team chat channel so that we don't bug everybody else when we have an issue. And so that to me, being able to kind of reach out automatically to Alexis and Bree and Ryan and those guys and get pretty quick response. They've always been very responsive, but I put something in there yesterday and they were like right on it. The
advice for those, if I could just throw in, the advice for those that want to get to this sort of status, the trick is not to find problems and then complain about them. The trick is to find a problem and clearly identify what it is that's wrong, why it's wrong, so they have helpful questions. They don't go back to engineering going, oh, this widget isn't working. They go back to engineering and saying, this widget's not working because of, and then they can copy and paste what we say. And that's what gets you any part of Zoom. That is what gets you the responses and gets you replies and gets you heard. Sorry, Ray, carry on.
And any forum is like that. I mean, I have to say I'm also on bolt.news forum, and there's that same, there's 20% over here that are very, very good at describing their problems, and there's 20% over here that just go, hey, it's broke, somebody fix it. And then there's the people in the middle that maybe do or don't kind of get all that described. But yes. So then the third thing that they've done for us is they have given us an additional Zoom login, an additional Zoom account on Zoom. But it is a fully featured account that has a whole lot of perks and things to it at no charge, and given us an opportunity really to go in and try things that we may not normally be able to do. And thank John for sort of putting this out there some time ago of, hey, sure would be nice if we had access to this. And it includes a Webinars Plus license for 1,000 attendees. So if we wanted to hold our own educational session or something through that, we could. So those are the three big things to me is, we get a little bit of recognition, and as John has put in on a couple of LinkedIn things, I'm going to take a side trip here. You guys remember the other guy that started the Zoom test kitchen, right? He and I had a conversation.
The other guy.
Way back when this was first starting, and I was kind of getting in touch with him, and we had a little bit of thing going on the community of he would answer something, I would answer something, he would answer. And we got together over Zoom one day, and he went, you're just doing this because you like the numbers and the badges, right? And I said, I'm not doing it for that. I said, that is a cool kudo to me. What I'm doing it for is knowing that I've helped all of these people, and that really is, what John really put out in his very well is that we do this because we help people. We believe in the Zoom platform and what it does, and what can be done with it, and we just want to help people make the most out of it. So that's the first thing. Yeah, the second thing is anyway, I've already said it.
So here's what it looks like. That special badge and community super champion, it says there.
Yep.
And then if you hover over, you can see, whoops, he's this community super champion, 4,300, almost 4,400 replies. And then you've got all the badges down below. And if you click on his name, you can see all that. Well, this is back in 2023. But that doesn't.
That's something that I put in, and obviously
okay.
I was wrong when I wrote that a year or two ago. But yeah.
Why were you wrong?
Well, because it was fine for 2023. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
So where does one find information about an individual on the community?
If you find one of their posts, usually you can just hover over their name and usually click that link.
So what I did, Lois, is from this search bar, I typed in Ray's name, Harwood.
And that showed you his posts. And
it showed me posts that he had replied to or that he's involved with. And then I was able to, wait a second. Wait. I was getting let's see what the AI says. Hold on. Ray Harwood is an active and recognized member of the Zoom community forums. He is frequently mentioned and tagged by other users for his helpfulness and expertise in Zoom-related topics. You can find, this is fantastic.
I haven't done this yet.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. His advice and insights are valued by both new and experienced Zoom users. If you'd like to see Ray Harwood's activity or connect with him, you can visit his community profile. Look at that. That's really convenient, actually. For more about his recognition as a top contributor, check out the community anniversary post. Happy 30th anniversary to the Zoom community. So right there, it takes you right to his page. That's actually super convenient. Cool. You could just search right there. Let's do John. Let's see what John says. John, drink water. I'm going to say, John's a jerk. He's a pain.
That's what I put in my bio.
Yeah. So, John, 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 Here's where I find John is an active member. This is interesting. This could be bullet points. The other one was narrative. He sometimes sends his posts with a link to his YouTube channel. John's been featured as a spotlight presenter in Zoom's Meeting of the Champions events. Look at that. He's known for his practical advice. And then more of his contribution. Now, this gave you links to some of his posts. Interesting. It didn't give you a link to your profile. Whatever. It's AI. It's not going to give you the same thing every time, but that's great.
Oh, it's listed my YouTube channel. I'm quite happy with that.
It did, yeah. Well, congratulations, guys. I mean, I really think the most important thing here is that you both got nice shirts. That's really.
That's
no,
just because you're wearing it, yeah.
No, I'm not. No, I don't have that shirt. I'm not special like that.
You have a Zoom on it.
I know, but it's not. It's different than theirs. This was a token token of appreciation that a friend sent me. This was not earned in any way, but really, John and Ray. I mean, kudos to both of you. It just what you do for the community is unparalleled, genuinely, and we know that you do it because you enjoy it. So, and you want to be hopeful.
And it's interesting. I was following along, looking at the community, haven't been here before. And I did exactly what David did. And I put in Ray Harwood, and the information I got was different than what he got.
That's the beauty of AI. AI just goes, oh, let me think about this a little different way.
Yep. Hey, Frank.
I'm going to say something a little different. I'm a Zoom community champion. I don't necessarily do it because I like helping people always. I get paid to do that all day long. So I like solving problems. So sometimes people will post interesting problems on the community. And I'll go, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. And I'll dig into it. And it increases my knowledge of Zoom. But so it's sort of like a Sherlock Holmes kind of mystery. And it gives you, helps with your skills, right?
That's great. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
And one of the things that we all do, I've seen this with Frank and with John, when you're in a product area and you're answering something that you believe you know the answer to, but one of the other of us would be sort of the expert. If you basically put @ and that person's name in, they'll get an email that says, hey, you've been mentioned in this post, and you can come in and respond. And so I'll do the same thing. One of the other super champions is Elliot Robinson, who is actually one of the experts in Zoom Phone. And so anytime I have a Zoom Phone thing and well, I think you can do it this way, but @ Elliot Robinson is really the expert on that. And anytime I have a developer thing, I try and toss them over to John Drinkwater. And if it's educational related and some of the things that I know Frank's, got more expertise in, like to toss them over there as well.
Very nice.
Thanks. One thing I'll say is I'm also I'm a human being. If you're mean to me, I'm less likely to help you and put a lot of effort in. Like if you turn into a jerk in the post, then I'll be like, okay, then go help yourself. But if you want help, be polite. Give us details. We're not mind readers. Tell us the kind of computer you have. Tell us the issue. Did you see any error messages? It's like pulling teeth with some people to help them. I'm trying to help you, and you're not helping me help you. So in any time you're asking for tech support from anybody, make sure you give them the details they need and try to be respectful. It's not hard, and they're trying to help you. Especially when you're a Zoom community champion, you're doing it for free. I have other things I can do in my life than get freaked out on by someone who doesn't have the time to go read their own tech support knowledge base from Zoom.
Well, and Frank, exactly, in all forums, that's the way to go. And I think maybe here's what I do is when I go down through the list and there's 20 or 30 of them that haven't been answered yet, I'll look at the first couple of lines of the thing, and if it's like, hey, my camera's broke, it doesn't work, you guys are stupid, how come this had to happen? I'm not going to go in and answer it. And the ones that really do, I've had some by people who are non-technical, but they've written a couple of paragraphs of, I tried this and I tried that, and yes, I'm on a Mac, and yes, this, and yes, that I'll go in and do some research and try and help them out.
I have some breaking news from YouTube and Robert Sababity that Frank is the Zoom Test Kitchen community champion. And so here's
that seems very unlikely.
That's your new icon there. Congratulations.
It looks just like me.
Yeah. I'm very, very proud of you. Yeah, be nice, folks. Be nice to each other. Send a screenshot. If you have screenshots, send a little video. All that stuff helps.
Yep.
Well, then, so last week, we spent most of the time with me screwing up Zoom Tiles and Companion. I don't know why he does this to himself, but Andy, for some reason, actually watched.
And he's on vacation. And he's on vacation.
I know. If you're listening, Andy, just give yourself a break. It's not worth it. He then
I
wrote.
believe you said his name 3 times, and so he had to be watching, right? I mean,
he then wrote a lengthy post in the Tiles channel explaining how to do all of this, which of course made perfect sense when he said it. So if anyone wants, I can very quickly just show you how to kind of connect these dots, if that's helpful to people.
If he wrote it all out, why don't you just put in the chat where the thing is that he wrote? That would seem logical.
I can certainly do that. It's in our Discord. If you go to the Zoom Tiles, I'm looking for it right now, sorry. If you go to the Zoom Tiles channel, Andy posted, and with screenshots and everything. It's really, really super helpful and super simple. The good news is, yes, thank you, Andy. The good news is now I can, just by pressing my fancy little buttons here, I can turn things on and off, but I have to move this because you can't see it, which is fantastic. So,
and just to be clear, Lois, it's in the Zoom Test Kitchen Discord.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
The Zoom Test Kitchen Discord.
Zoom, can we please have a Liminal Apps product forum section, please?
I'm sorry, a what?
Can we have a Liminal app related Zoom community forum?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a question now whether Ray or I can type that in quickest.
It's a great idea. For all of for OSC, ISO, tiles, all those, yeah. When Liminal is shutting, it's not shutting down, but it's you can't buy licenses through them anymore. And I believe I thought I read somewhere that the website may be going away. But at what point are we going to stop calling it Liminal and it's just going to be Zoom? Do you know?
What would you like to call it?
No, I'm just curious. I mean,
my answer to that, David, is we will never stop calling it Liminal.
Right. But like for just for discoverability, you can't discover Zoom OSC, Zoom Tiles, or any of those through Zoom.
Correct.
They're Zoom products, but you can't discover any of them through Zoom. The only way to discover them is by going to something called Liminal, which nobody who uses Zoom knows. It's just a curiosity question.
Yeah. We don't have the answer for you because we're not Zoom. So,
well,
so I was just in here, got a little search place. I put in Zoom OSC, hit the button. What comes up? Well, of course, there's the AI answer at the top. And then there's the list of results. And the first one is Zoom Test Kitchen, an open invitation.
David, did you disappear on us?
Yeah, he did.
Camera.
One of the things I find interesting is they do have to get the handle around branding. And the example I use is it's where the applications show up in my application list. So Zoom OSC and Zoom ISO all show up correlated to Zoom. It is Tiles for Zoom is the formal application name, and therefore it shows up in the T's. I just assume it'd be Zoom Tiles. But going back to the question you were commenting on, David, is at some point Zoom's going to have to get their arms around branding. Because you're right, it's not discoverable.
Well, part of it, I think, is that it's been wrapped into the Zoom Events platform and Webinars Plus. And I do agree that it would be nice to have maybe some other word. And, Zoom, they've got the Zoom for broadcast. Does that really cover all of those other tools? I've never really totally figured out what Zoom for broadcast really means, because that's, it's mentioned, but I don't see a Zoom for broadcast web page anywhere. Could we call all of those tools Zoom for broadcast, or another word that doesn't have to imply that you're a TV, production type guy? I don't know.
The catch I would say that, Ray, is webinar. I'm looking at the Webinars Plus, the products page, right? Just for grins.
Yep.
It still doesn't mention any of those fancy tools.
Right.
And
that's, I think, partially because they backdoored into Zoom Events and Webinars Plus by how are we going to license these things? Well, if you have these licenses, you can have access to that. But yeah, it needs, and maybe the Zoom guys are all, in a room back there trying to figure this out now. How do we brand this so that we get it out there and leverage those products to help sell more licenses?
Well, I mean, even the Zoom Events sign up doesn't even mention them, so I'm not sure.
Right. Well, and if you go there, it's probably not going to mention directly Production Studio, and
it does. It does. Oh, okay. It does, and it says AV production tools, but it doesn't say what they are.
There you go. AV production tools. That's Zoom AVPs, AVPTs.
But that's kind of it's kind of hiding. You have to admit it's hidden. It's not obvious.
Yeah.
Hasmuk, are you able to come on screen and describe what happened? He had an event last week. Tiles went AWOL with name tags not matching participant names. He had to quit and restart Tiles to fix. Has anyone had this before? I haven't. I am right now, because I have Tiles running, I'm experiencing that the NDI feed from Tiles on this machine to this machine is it's freezing. It's getting stuck. I don't know if that's Tiles or if that's just NDI or if it's my local network, but hey, Hasmuk.
I'm on location, so sorry about this.
It's quite all right.
My comms may not be so good. Yeah, so we use Tiles mostly as the gallery view for the talent, because it was just a nicer presentation for the talent to interact with the participants in the meeting. And in fact, he called out somebody and they didn't match the participant image. And that's how we knew that something's amiss. So we looked at all the names and didn't match any name tag didn't match any participant.
Ooh.
So the only way to solve it, well, the way we solved it was just to quit Tiles and restart it, and that kind of fixed it.
were the names shifted by 1 unit or 2, or were they just scrambled?
They were quite scrambled, actually. I looked for that, for some pattern, and there was no, well, we were obviously under pressure to fix it. So didn't spend too much time, but it looked like it was quite scrambled.
Well, and given that it randomly populates the tiles themselves, sounds like you had 2 different random algorithms running.
And
one for the names and one for the pictures.
Yeah. And I was running tiles on a separate computer, so it's not as if there was a CPU overhead issue. And so I don't think that was the problem. Anyway, on if I may, on some better experience was using polls in Zoom Graphics Toolkit. It was just awesome. It was beautiful.
Hasmuck, were you using single question polls, or did you also have some multiple question polls?
A single question with, so we use the MCQ format, single question with up to 4 or 5 options, a correct answer or the incorrect answer. What we did do before is using polls itself. When we launched the poll, we had to screen scrape the actual poll itself so that the talent could see the class response as they were responding to the poll. And then when we quit the poll, we would share the results. So we would share the results and screen scrape that for the talent and put it into program so that the class itself could place themselves of how they responded to the question. When I started using the polls in Zoom Graphics Toolkit, what worked very well is that I had one screen that I would scrape and share all the time, which was for the talent. And when the question was closed, I didn't have to drag another share the results because it kept the same data. So you would share the question and you would share the answers. There were only 2 drawbacks, really. One was the graphics did not give the percentage of people who responded to the question and did not give the answer of the poll when you usually share the results with the class. But otherwise, the visual graphical impact of the actual poll in the meeting itself was very impressive.
Some of that can probably be relatively easy, added, later. Like if you could, as you're pushing out of the Zoom SDK into the ZGT tool, you could mark the HTML with a particular class and call it, question answer. And then in the config file, then you could go, when you actually have something marked as the question answer, highlighted in green or something like that. So to me, on the program mental side, it shouldn't be too difficult to do some of those stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to speak to somebody who knew HTML or config well enough to pull that data into the graphic.
Well, the issue isn't necessarily to pull it into the graphic. The question is, does that data come to the CGT from the SDK? Is it directly sent over there? And if not, then they're going to have to add some code into a new version of the SDK that they pull in.
Got you.
It's not
That would
officially
be
in the SDK.
Say that again, John?
It's not officially in the SDK. You have to hack to get live results and live chat. There's no official live
Correct,
SDK.
But they take the SDK and use that to feed, the ZGT panel and all that sort of stuff. But if the SDK is not even pushing that data towards them, yeah, and I kind of misspoke. They don't have to change the SDK. They have to change their implementation of the SDK to pull some of that data out. But sounds to me it should be doable.
When I'm doing polls and I have a speaker who wishes to know what's going on, I make them co-hosts temporarily, because that way when I run the poll, they don't get the chance to vote, but they get the status box that comes up and tells them how the voting's going on, so they can see the voting. And that seems to work well for my presenters, because they can see the speed of the answers coming in, and they can then add a hint or any other feedback they want to encourage people to give the answers.
Yeah, that's what I do, John, too. Matter of fact, I'll be doing it tomorrow.
Have you all continued to have struggles with how everything got moved around? I was with a few people yesterday, and in fact myself yesterday, I could not find for the life of me the statistics panel.
They're not readily available. You have to go, and several of us have pointed this out. You have to go to the settings in your workplace in order to get to the statistics panel.
Yeah, I know.
And that needs fixing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony, you had a question you wanted to share.
Yeah, here I come again in crisis mode. I guess probably before I say anything, I probably should be a part of this planning committee that decides to do these things and then tell me how to figure it out. But that's not the way it normally works. So this coming Friday, a week from today, there's going to be an in-person event at some of you may not even know the name when I say this, a restaurant called Golden Corrals Buffet. And we're going to have the meeting room at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a meeting from 12 to 3, and we're going to start our sessions at 12, and we're going to break at 1, and then have 2 more hours of this conference meeting. So for me right now, there are some unknown things, but the things that I do know are a little bit troublesome for me. So initially there was a desire to make it a Zoom hybrid meeting. And I said, I don't think that we should do that, principally because the hybrid meetings that we have had have not worked. And the other reason was that since this is a restaurant, it's going to be on a Friday, and there are going to be tons and tons of people coming in and out with their phones, and we are not going to be able to monitor the people that are coming in to say, all you guys coming in here with your phones, you're impacting our meeting. So I have shared that we should not do hybrid. I have not gotten a response back saying that they agree with me. So I don't know whether or not the intention is to still do hybrid or not. But what I really wanted to ask was, there was a conversation about possibly using Zoom in the actual restaurant, and that we would share the slides on the conversation that we are having. It's church conference about meetings and the things in the future and the branding and everything that we're currently doing, looking forward to, doing better things. And so the idea of using Zoom to share the PowerPoint presentations on the talking points, to me, is kind of, everybody would tune in on their phone, right? And I don't think that we should do it that way. But then there's no television, there's no projector screen. It's just a meeting room. And so that's kind of so I just wanted suggestions on how I might be able to allow the presentation to go on and for people to be able to be interactive with it. But I think that, doing it through Zoom would still be the same thing as trying to do a hybrid meeting.
All right. John says you need a copy of Zoom Mesh. Go ahead, Frank.
Okay, before we get to your technical aspects of your question, is this in a private room? Because depending what state you live in, recording other people without their consent is a liability for you and your organization. So
yes,
I would consider, just that. But I mean, Zoom is overkill. There's lots of tools for this, like Kahoot and other tools that are meant for engagement for meetings and stuff. Like, I don't understand why you're hitting a nail with a sledgehammer when you could just use a regular hammer. Like, maybe it's because when all you know is one tool, that's what you run to. But there's
that's
lots
what
other.
It is.
Like, just use Kahoot or something else. You don't need. There's lots of tools like Kahoot. I don't know.
That's what it is. That's all they know is Zoom.
What's interesting, Frank, is Office Hours had a big show on Tuesday, and they needed a way to draw a winner. And because everything we do in Office Hours is convoluted and confusing, instead of just using a basic, simple tool like you just described, we had like this whole rigmarole that they, because they, whatever. It worked out beautifully. But sometimes the simplest answer is the best answer. Lois and Peter.
So Tony, if I understand you correctly, there is no place to project. There's no blank wall. There's no screen. You can't actually project an image in the room, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So if people are going to try and look at something on their phones, instead of trying to do a Zoom meeting, what about simply putting your slideshow on some website someplace and give people a tiny URL and they can go and they can look at the whole thing, and then you don't have to worry about connectivity or how much bandwidth the people have because they're each using their own phones. I mean, might that not work?
Well, it might work, Lois. Like I said, the people are only they know Zoom, they know Microsoft Office. That's it.
They can't get on a browser.
Lois, if I may, Mike's, because I do that a lot. Actually, I will create custom URLs and I'll point it to where I want people to go. I found that the answer to your last question about is no. is that people don't, they have a browser. They don't know how to use it. All they know how to do is Google. So what they'll do is they'll type it in and they'll search for whatever you give them instead of just typing in a URL. They don't understand the difference between typing in an actual URL. And unless you have the proper SEO on that little site that you built, search engines are not going to find it. And so you asked the right question. And unfortunately, my limited experience is that many, many people, even young folks, don't know how to just go to an address. But you could, I mean, to make it easy for them, you could have a QR code and they just scan the QR code and it takes them there. That's another option if they're using phones, certainly. Yeah. Go ahead, Peter.
So 2 things. One, Tony, I'm first going to react to your comment about you need to join that committee, because what you're experiencing is, and I'm sure Frank experiences it today, and what I did in my 40 some odd year career in IT, is we are always the last ones to know when the business makes a change and, makes a decision. We are always the last to know. And, oh, what do you mean? I mean, my classic experience of that was years ago when IBM and AT&T decided to, IBM or AT&T sold their data centers to IBM, and we sold the IBM Global Network to AT&T. That decision was made on a golf course on a Saturday between the 2 chairmen of the board. And those of us in IT senior management were told about it on Monday. We weren't even, it was not open for discussion. It was just done. But now going back to the other point, now, David, it doesn't work. And the other thing is, and I don't know the nature of the meeting per se, Tony, is many times people are trying to control the flow of the charts. So if you give somebody a URL, say they know how to use it, that gives them access to all the charts, most people are going to start to look ahead and start to question the messaging before you're ready to explain the messaging. David, I'm sure you've had that happen a few times.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. If you give someone something to look at, they're going to look at it.
Yeah, that's right.
And
I mean, it's
not
just
necessarily
human,
pay attention to you.
It's human nature, right? So that's the other thing. And the other thing is, now you have to be careful about how dense you make those slides, because frankly, an iPhone screen or an Android screen is not going to be big enough to let you have a whole lot of density on the slides. Information density.
Lois, go ahead.
So
Lois, by the way, the problem with the problem is that your hand blends in with your wall.
I can't move it anyplace else. I suppose I could move my screen. There we go. No, I don't think so.
No. But you could use the raise your hand.
That's actually why I changed my hand back to this silly cartoon yellow, because otherwise you can't see it. Yeah.
But you can see my hand.
I can see your hand.
Okay. So thinking about what Tony said and the situation that you're in, Tony, what about just bringing a pop-up screen and show your slides in the room on the screen? I mean, I don't know how bright your room is, whether you'll be able to see anything or not, but that way you wouldn't have to do a Zoom.
Well, what I was considering, and it would physically would be complicated for me to do this, but I was thinking about I have a 32-inch TV in the guest room.
That's
and I was thinking
not good.
No. Okay.
No, not to the Golden Corral, because there's too many people, too much risk. And also people are going to be spread out a little bit. I don't think it's going to be better in any way than having a pop-up slide screen. Just much more hazard for you.
I may have missed this, but do you have this whole place to yourself?
It's going to be a room aside from the actual buffet.
Okay, because you're also dealing with a lot of noise, no?
Yes. And their internal music is playing all the time.
Okay.
Okay, this is bigger than Zoom issues, Tony. This is location, I think. Yeah.
But it's free, right?
But it's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you even
So
for considering it.
if you were going to have, if you were thinking that a Zoom solution would be good, why not just let everybody stay at home, come in on Zoom, do it all on Zoom. Don't bother with the lights and the sounds and the musics and the people, and just do it on Zoom.
Well, that's what I would have suggested, but I was not a part of the decision making. And my wife told me that I should stop using this word about being transparent. She said I say it too much. But the truth is that it should be a Zoom meeting. That's what it should be. But the desire for in-person fellowship is, in a sense, kind of overwhelming the logic of what we're trying to do. They're desperate. They're desperate to actually be in the same place at the same time, and
So
I understand that. And even the idea of being in person, I think could be good, but not at Golden Corral, but
what about two separate meetings? Have the in-person meeting, have your information with your slides be a totally separate meeting done at a different time, just on Zoom. Get the socialization in there and then get the information later, maybe? Okay, I'll stop. I'll defer to Ray.
I was giving the thumbs up while you were talking there, Lois. That's exactly my advice to a number of my clients. They go, oh gosh, the whole COVID thing's over now. We're going to have a meeting in central Arizona somewhere, northern Arizona or southern Arizona for my Arizona Native Plant Society group. But all of the people don't come to those. You had 300, 400 people coming to the webinars during COVID, and you've got 80 to 90 people who are willing to spend the money, come to the hotel, and do all of that sort of stuff and drive. Why don't you have smaller regional get-togethers of let's all get together and go out into the field and look at some botany stuff, and then have a webinar where all of us can get together and share this information. So Tony, my advice, and I know you're not the guy driving the train, you're just sort of the engineer, but suggest that in the future, let's have a very in-person gathering, and maybe somebody say a few words, and then the following week or the week before, let's have a real Zoom meeting where we actually can use the tool to its best effectiveness and have the most participation.
Yeah, because there are people who are not going to take off work, on Friday, just for the meeting. That's the reason why they wanted to make it hybrid. And I said, no, we can't. We don't have the infrastructure to be able to do it well. We've already had numerous failures in trying to do hybrid because we don't have the infrastructure. Mm-hmm. Here I go in with that word transparent. The truth is that we had some success with limited equipment in the past. And because we had limited success, it was taken as, yes, this is the way we can do it, and we can, but it's not reality. I'm not going to take any more time of the Zoom Test Kitchen on this, but I thank you for your comments, and I will definitely look at Kahoot. And I will also make a suggestion that maybe next Friday should just be a fellowship of,
yes,
a meal just to get together and fellowship and actually do the meeting in Zoom. I'll make that suggestion and see what happens.
And that sounds like the sentiment that's already there, Tony, is the people want to get together and just have them, use their energy to just make a thing that is, fun and, fellowship in the space that you have. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you, Frank. What's up?
I just I have Kahoot, a free version open. I was going to show it to you guys real fast. I don't work for Kahoot. I don't make any money from Kahoot. But I'll just, before we start, this is just a pre-canned one that, they have templates. You don't have to use the templates. You can run Kahoot just like a PowerPoint. You can run it kind of like Zoom, where you demonstrate things like slide shares or something, and then there's a quiz. Kahoot does all of that. It can be synchronous, which means it's happening in real time. It can be asynchronous, which means if people aren't in the meeting and they still want to participate, and you say this Kahoot's open for 24 hours, they have 24 hours to go do it at 3 in the morning if that's what they want to do it. So I was just going to show it to you real fast. These are templates. You could make your own, just like making PowerPoints, but that's up to you. All right, so I'm just going to share. You guys are seeing my screen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just going to pick this one. If you guys were, what you do is you send everyone a link and they can play along on their computer or their mobile device. It doesn't matter, right? I'm just going to play by myself because I don't want to put a lot of energy into this. So I'm going to click start. Loading. It says game, but these can be serious things that are so this would be how you share the information. There's not going to be any participants, so I'm just going to click start. And it worked last time. All right. Anyways, what happens is things come up on screen. It can have music. It doesn't have to have music. They have lots of templates with stuff. It can be serious. It can be fun. Earlier, Ray and John were talking about badges in Zoom community. The reason Zoom does that, and tons of other people do that, it's called gamification. And it's a fun way. You could be talking about Bible verses. You could be talking about whatever your church or your whatever does, your synagogue, whatever it is. If there's trivia, what year was our church opened? You can put 4 answers up. It can be who gets the answer fastest. It can be who answers the most questions correctly. And then there's a leaderboard, which gets people more gamified. And then at the end, there's winners. You could give out prizes at the end. There's all kinds of things you can do. And Kahoot's not the only product on the internet that does this. But I'm just saying people could sit at their mobile device and do it. If you want to bring a TV or a data projector, people could do it on their devices and watch the big screen. There's lots of ways to do it.
Wait, there's you have 2 players that are sitting. I'm sitting in the waiting room ready to play.
Oh, I already closed it.
Robert Sadabity.
I already closed it. Sorry. Maybe one day we'll do a Zoom trivia Kahoot, and we'll all play online. I've done that lots of times. I've watched over the last 30 years. I've watched, I want to say 10,000 instructors try different teaching techniques and gamifying their classrooms. If you're really good at PowerPoint, you can make Jeopardy with PowerPoint. There's lots of things you can do to gamify. It doesn't have to be silly. It can be quite serious. It can be very silly if you want to have a fun time. It's really up to your imagination. And Kahoot's really easy. Like basically, you just point your camera at that QR code. It'll log you in. You can have a free account. You add your name or your nickname, and then there's leaderboards depending on what you created or which template you use.
Yeah. Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, we actually just used Kahoot not that long ago at an all-company meeting production that I was doing. It was a multi-site location, so I had some people in person in the room with me, and then some on different Zoom meetings. I showed the Kahoot stuff right on the Zoom meeting, and it was a great option because everyone felt connected and brought together. And even though those who were in different parts of the country, because they were all racing against each other to do this questions. And then we also had a voting thing. Lots of different departments had a gingerbread competition, and then everyone in the company got a chance to live vote on who the winner should be. So it worked out really well.
Yep. I've used it too.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody for the suggestions. I appreciate it.
You got it. What else do we have? We haven't had any big announcement. I mean, Tiles was a big announcement when 1.5 came out, but
1.2.
1.2. We haven't had anything big from Zoom in a while.
I'm sort of anticipating some release notes coming out. I was hoping to see them today for things that would probably roll out next week, but I don't even see that yet.
I actually I jumped on also to check, and it's been a while since we've had it. And the last thing was a very, very minor little tweak.
There are a couple of things that I've heard are in the queue for Zoom events, but
yeah,
I want to see them.
What else are we seeing out there? I'm not seeing much of anything right now.
No.
What's going on? 6.2, 6.7.2 is what we're on.
Right.
The latest.
I turned off my screen so you can see my hand.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't even looking at that. I wasn't in the Zoom. Sorry. Go ahead, Lois.
Okay, so Zoom Test Kitchen has been going for years, and we're doing really good at doing the updates and what's new and what's happening and all these offshoots and things like that. And we have videos that we have recorded. I'm wondering if perhaps y'all might think that we could do one program, one Zoom Test Kitchen, where we start at the beginning for people who are new and walk them through the simple things that you can do. And how do you do a breakout room? How do you do this? Not getting overly deep into the weeds, but simple instructions that people could then follow. And then label it properly on our YouTube channel and have here's how we use Zoom. Now, you all may think, nah, we don't want to do that, but it's a thought. So what do you think?
Can I screen share again?
Please.
This is called the Zoom Learning Center. It's free, and it has tutorial videos and training about every single subject you could want to know about Zoom at a very low level if you're a beginner, and very advanced stuff if you're an expert. So general onboarding. They've already created all the videos. This one's about security, but there's ones about just how to use Zoom. Zoom has a YouTube channel. They have their knowledge base. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, Lewis, but we'd just be reinventing the wheel.
Well, that is wonderful. So how about when we do our show, or maybe at the beginning, I don't know, put up a QR code or the URL or something so that people know that's the place to go to be basic. I don't know. I want us to make sure that even though we're doing the tough stuff, that people who are new to this also, if they come here, they get something, even if it's not. Thank you, Frank. I did not realize how thorough that was. I'm going to have to go check that out. But let's let people know about it. Hey, Tony.
I just wanted to add that I think this is fantastic that site exists. But I also think that even with that video being there, if people had an opportunity to watch us go through it, that it might make a difference for some people. And I just wanted to share that.
I mean, we could also just have, 5 minutes every show where we say, and Mike makes one of his nice graphics that says Zoom beginners time, and we make space and people have beginner questions. Nobody teases them or makes fun of them. We just say, this is the time of your... No, I know you do. This is the time of show where if you have beginner questions, jump in. No one's going to ridicule you. And then if anyone has a question, we're happy to go through that. But quite often I find nobody in this particular group has beginner questions. Maybe online in YouTube or something.
And maybe the people watching us who aren't coming on the show.
Right.
I like your idea, Frank. Good idea.
Or the Discord. Maybe we have a beginner section in the Discord as well, and people can post their questions, and we'll answer them from time to time. The mailbag.
Nice thing about the Learning Center, the Zoom's Learning Center, is that it's easily searchable for information, whereas our Zoom, our YouTube videos, like we could have a great 5-minute session on how to mute yourself. You'll never be able to find that in YouTube. Land. That's just too much noise. Go ahead, Ray, please.
Well,
you're muted, Ray.
Wait,
you
what
muted
happened?
yourself.
You got muted somehow.
Yeah, push the wrong button.
Double hit
it. Ray needs a beginner class on how to mute and unmute.
Okay, here we go. It's beginner time on the Zoom discussion.
Wait, can I? No, never mind. There's an ocean of information out there, and some people just want a little glass of water, and they're sitting here in Phoenix, Arizona, where it's dry as a bone, and they don't know where the water is or how to go get it. And so, Frank brings up good information that there is stuff there. I think David's point is, probably there, that most people and other people have said, the beginners aren't coming to the Zoom test kitchen necessarily to look for the how do I use Zoom, but in our I think desire to cover all the bases, it would be nice if there was something that the Zoom test kitchen would have, whether it's just another web page of resources for beginners, and so something so that when people discover us, they don't go, oh, they're all way above my head. There's nothing I can get here. We ought to have something there that those people can find out. I would like for maybe some of us to either do it here or do it elsewhere. Come up with a couple of lists. Lois was talking about, kind of the easy stuff and breakout rooms. Well, hosts need to know how to create breakout rooms. Attendees only need to know what's special about joining a breakout room. And so we really need an attendee list. If you're brand new and you're just an attendee, here are the things that, will show you how to use the current version of Zoom. So, there's some requirement then to kind of make sure all this stuff is up to date. The other is to then say, well, if you're brand new to hosting, we want to show you what you need to know about hosting, and we need to explain to you about Zoom bombers and some of those host features. There's the ocean and there's the glass of water, and how we bring those two people together. It's kind of difficult.
And nobody drowns.
Yes.
Yeah. So I really like Frank's idea of having a 5-minute segment for, newcomer questions or beginner questions or whatever. And so I suggest to, Master David, could we at the beginning of the show try it and do it right at the beginning, so that if people come, they see it, and maybe we can include an opening slide that says we're going to do beginner, and then at the end have a closing slide for that segment that says, and here's where you can get all of the training from Zoom or whatever, just so that it's it's a beginning and end, easy. And if people do drop in, they'll hopefully see it. We could try it. What the heck?
All right. There is a new channel on our Discord called Just Starting. And if you want to throw in topics there that are the basics for people who are just starting that we should cover, like how to manage breakout rooms, things like that, throw them in there and we can absolutely cover those 100%. So each week we can take one of them from that list. And if you're watching in YouTube and you have things that you want to put on that list, if you're not in Discord for whatever reason, reach out to me through the Zoom Test Kitchen website, zoomtestkitchen.com. I'm happy to throw them in there for you. There you go.
David, then you could also take it and clip out that section from the YouTube video and post just that short 5-minute segment on how to mute and unmute if you wanted to, or whatever.
We absolutely could. Yep.
To make it searchable and easier to share.
Love it.
Yep.
And when we do this, if we do this, I think we should be careful to, at the beginning, as we're speaking, say today's date is, and the version of Zoom that we're using is. And if it is more than a year from this date, better go look for a different, maybe not quite that harsh, but Zoom updates often. So this is current as of now. Yeah.
So
this is
David,
exciting.
David, let me show you something that I once a quarter I host a class. I'm not the instructor, but I'm hosting a class, and I end up sending this to. Right, I don't need this. This is part of a letter that I share to all the participants. And I just checked these. All these links are still valid, believe it or not. But they are, to your point, Lois, they've been updated each time, every time something that is relevant changes in the Zoom client. But these are links to the knowledge base, to Zoom's knowledge base.
Yep. So I put 2 in already. Waiting room versus passcode or both, and managing chat. Are those 2 good things, Lois, that you were thinking of?
Managing chat in a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's another kind of chat. There's a Zoom chat.
Right.
In a meeting.
Yeah. I would add participating in breakout rooms, because that always seems to be...
go in and add it. Yeah, I'm not making them all. Go in there to the Discord and
okay, let me find it.
Yeah, and
you can turn off your screen share also.
Oh, okay, do that.
I think those are all wonderful ideas. And what I might do, I won't promise. I'm not promising anything these days, but what I might do is go and figure out from a person who's new what they need to do. And I think I would start with you've got either an email with a link, or you've got some numbers in front of you. What are they and what do you do with them? People who watch this will obviously be able to see it on YouTube, but they may not have. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting in the weeds, but that's okay. I'm a good gardener. Good gardeners always start with being good weeders.
What's the difference between joining in the Zoom app versus in my browser? There's another one.
People won't. No, I can't say it that way. Some people don't know they have a browser. Some people don't know whether or not they have a Zoom app.
Right.
So if you say, is it an app or a browser? They're going, huh? So do you use an email link, or do you use some numbers? Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'll try and come up with some questions, and maybe we can talk about it again next week and see if we've got any, maybe Mike will be back to make one of those. He has good artistic slides, doesn't he?
I don't need Mike. I've got AI.
As long
By
as
the
you
way,
don't say, I've got Sumo.
Oh, I have Suno. I've been going crazy on Suno.
I know, but we don't want that here.
No, but well, we already have it here. It's our theme song, for goodness sakes.
That's true.
Which, by the way, as we were listening to it today, I was thinking to myself, if we redid that now, it would be so much better just because the tool is so much better.
Yeah. And it would be shorter. It's way too long, David.
Oh, I love it. It gives me a chance to run to the bathroom. It's perfect. By the way, I don't know if you all know this, but this is not Zoom, but it'll be interesting to see if Zoom follows suit. That Google just made a pretty significant update to slides. Zoom does not have a slides feature yet. It has, right? Am I right about that?
Docs.
But that's not slide. Like
it's not slides.
Right. Zoom Docs is kind of matches Google Docs. Zoom, I don't know what they call it. Tables is, I think, is what they call it. Matches Zoom Google Sheets. They don't really have a.
Well, the tables is actually a functionality within Docs. So Docs is the big thing. I started using Notion before I really got used to Zoom Docs. And Notion is a lot like Docs. You can put in all sorts of text. You can put in tables. You can put in databases and that sort of thing. But the document is the thing, and everything lives in there. That's the way the Zoom ecosystem lives.
So the reason I'm bringing this up is only because Google just brought this out. Sorry, hold on a second. This new beautify that you can now, Gemini is now built in. So with one click, I can click beautify this slide, and it will actually recreate the slide. And I've just been playing with it a little. It does a really nice job. Now I'm a Keynote guy, but that was only because Google Slides was so basic. But you can put in images, you can turn it into an infographic, you can. So here's what this had. And this is the thing that I created. I'm not entirely sure what that has to do with this. That's really interesting. That is in no way connected to this slide. Okay, you know what? Bad idea. Don't use that tool. Not ready for prime time. Or maybe I did something wrong. I don't know. I said beautify this slide, and then it beautified something else completely.
And it changed the text.
And it changed everything. Yeah.
It was like putting the wrong name on the wrong face in tiles.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. How do I join a meeting? That's a good one, Peter. Cool. Cool. All right. What else? Anything else? I don't know. In Ecamm for Zoom, I think I sort of am having a hybrid experience between old Zoom and new Zoom. Because in Ecamm for Zoom, you don't have the Zoom app because it's built in, it's based on the SDK. So, Ray, when I was saying before that I could not find my statistics, I know that the place to go is to go to your Zoom app, but in Ecamm for Zoom, that doesn't exist. So I literally had I didn't know where to look. And the SDK, I'm not sure how up to date. I know that Ecamm is up to date on the SDK. I don't know how updated the SDK itself is. So I have the new chat experience in Ecamm for Zoom. I've got the new settings experience. but I don't have the Zoom app. So I figured it out eventually. There's a separate button that in eCam for Zoom called Zoom meeting settings. And that opens what looks to me to be like the old settings dialogue, not the new settings dialogue.
I would say that Mimo Live behaves the same way on it also.
Oh, really? Yeah. So
yeah,
it feels like I'm having like a hybrid experience almost.
Yeah. It's what's I imagine it's what SDK they developed against.
Yeah. Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, how's it going? Question for you. Do you know Doc Rock?
I do.
Yeah.
Very well.
Any chance you could get him on here sometime and he could give us an update on the state of eCam and what's happening with Zoom? You say his name 3 times, will he just show up?
He won't just show up, but I can absolutely ask him. He would definitely come on. He's no problem with that. I mean, there's not much going on with eCam for Zoom now. It's fully integrated. I never join a meeting in regular Zoom.
No, but the shortcomings you were just saying, I'm sure at some point they'll update their version of the SDK, like use of the SDK to a more modern one, and those things will come.
Oh no, eCam is on the latest SDK.
Really, and it still doesn't appear? I wonder why. Is it because their developers haven't chosen to include those elements?
No. So the let me back
You said
up.
it's in a different panel, but I mean,
right. So what? Let me actually just let me show you. So this is oh God, I don't know what I pressed. Sorry. So when so I'm in. If I kind of hide all the Zoom stuff here. Boom. So because I'm in actual Zoom now. When I'm in Zoom through eCam, I don't have. There is no Zoom app. It's not even. It doesn't even exist because the SDK. All they grabbed from the SDK is the meeting SDK, presumably. So all the entire meeting is built into this, but the app itself is not. And so what I had to do is I can access the new settings by clicking on the caret next to the audio or clicking on the caret next to the video or going up to the, what is it in the top left now?
The meeting
information.
Yeah. So I could do that, but that just gives me the new settings. If I want the old settings with the statistics, then what I have to do is I have to come over here in eCam. And there are 2 options here, eCam for Zoom preferences or Zoom meeting settings. If I click on that, and then it brings up what looks to me like, sort of the older settings with my statistics here. So there are definitely some things that are missing from these integrations that I would love to see, but my understanding is that it's not on eCam. It's a limitation of the Zoom SDK. Like, for example, we cannot access Zoom apps at all.
Sure. Does eCam publish a roadmap? Like, do they give guidance on what's coming next?
No, they don't really. They just had a big beta release this week where they introduced dual streaming or dual, I don't know what they call it.
Well, the fact that you can do 16 by 9 and 9 by 16.
9 by 16, yeah.
Right,
almost everyone, YouTube's doing that. Everyone's doing that now.
Right. At the same time, shape and size. So here I can switch this to dual mode. No, I don't want to. Do I want to do that? No.
No.
Need to do that. And then what it does is it creates basically side by side, and I can then bring in a camera, and I can do the same video in 2 different formats and send it out that way. So this was sort of the big fix, or not fix, the big thing in the latest release. But honest, what I was most excited about in this release is right down here. Window font size. I could finally increase the size of my font because I can't see. I mean, I don't know if you can, like, it's small. So now I can, for my little old eyes, I can make it just a little bigger for myself, which makes all the difference. So, but the answer to your question is they don't actually publish a roadmap.
Do you ever use Mimo?
I never have.
I do, Frank.
I was trying to get the impression of someone who's used both, and if you've used both, then I'd be happy to hear your thought process on which one you like better.
We actually, this came up the other night on an office hour show. Tony and I were kind of discussed it a little bit. Excuse me. I have not used Memo, but my limited experience from understanding it is that it plays more like a traditional switcher. It's got,
layers.
The
it's very
default
layers.
is right. Default is preview program, whereas in Ecamm default is just one. You can do both, but you can do with Ecamm, you've got all these different panels that you can open or close. Whereas Memo is again a more traditional looking experience.
Years ago, I used to use Wirecast on a Mac, and it was very layer based as well.
Yeah.
Peter, why are we looking at?
Because I'm about to show you the memo screen. That's why.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it feels very similar to Wirecast to me, Frank. Peter,
I haven't
do you
heard
want to
much
walk us
from
through any of this,
Wirecast lately.
Yeah.
Are they? What
I
are they
haven't
doing these
either.
days?
You know what else is gone, by the way, is Cinemaker. Remember Cinemaker?
Yep.
Yeah, they have disappeared.
So I view it as like Wirecast. It sort of like you're used to using Photoshop with layers, right? It's same thing.
I mean, Ecamm is layer based also, but
right.
I think that it's how you interact with the app is they can both do the same stuff.
What's the metaphor? What's the metaphor in Ecamm? Is it scenes or something, or is it something else? What would they call it?
So we have seen. So the structure is basically scenes is the base. So these are your scenes, and scenes can basically be either they can start blank, they can start as a camera scene, a screen share scene, or a video scene, and then you have overlays, and that's what you throw on top. So
So what do you call it if you have like a pre-made scene that has multiple elements? What's that called? A template, or is that called
a scene?
It's just a scene. So a scene can be simple, or a scene can have lots of predetermined things.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And you can have overlays that are in just one scene, or you can have overlays that are in every scene. So I've got all of these overlays that I'm scrolling through are available in every scene. None of them are on right now, but I have them available in every scene. And then down here at the bottom, these 3 elements are the only ones that are just in this scene, showing current scene.
Right.
Wish Mike was here. We need breaking news ticker. So you heard it here first, everyone. Thursdays at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, the new Ecamm Test Kitchen will be airing with David Paskin every Thursday. Come here for all your Ecamm questions.
They already have that. They do that. That exists.
Yeah, but I want you. I like you.
I missed the boat on that one.
Yeah. I find I've played with Ecamm, and I find their metaphor is very similar to OBS, to be quite honest.
Say that one more time.
The metaphor that they use, right, for scenes and sources and things like that, it's very similar to OBS.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, okay. Anything else? We've almost made it to the 2-hour mark. I was afraid before we started today that we'd have the record today for the shortest show ever. But I don't know. Only because there's not much to talk about. If anyone, wait, now I don't even have my, I have to open up my YouTube thing again because now I can't see the comments. If anyone has any questions at all, or comments or thoughts? Nothing from YouTube.
Tony's looking right now, I can tell.
Yeah, no, I can see also. There's nothing up there.
I was actually thinking, I was afraid that when you changed to the dual screen recording format, I was afraid it was going to break downstream at YouTube's level because you tried to do something in the middle of the stream.
No, because I'm not actually. So I changed it only in Ecamm, not in Zoom.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So if I had it wouldn't have. If I were streaming, it wouldn't let me change.
I was going to say is probably
Yeah. That no.
Line from Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah. No, that would just be yeah. It wouldn't have let me make that change. It's funny. I was in the alpha testing for this, and I don't even think I installed the alpha because I never stream vertically. I just have no interest in it. So it's not something that I've been excited about necessarily. Mr. Drinkwater.
Breaking news. Another news
more
flash.
breaking news?
More breaking news.
Man.
There is a problem with the Google Add-in Meetings plugin. So if you create a meeting, it might not appear in your Google Calendar at the moment. Zoom are on it and looking into it.
Do we know what that's about? Like, is it a...
So when you create a meeting and then it has the Google add-in to add it to your calendar, that's not happening in some cases. In quite a few some cases because it's being reported all over the community. Zoom community, remember, we got one of those.
Huh.
The Microsoft, I always get this wrong, add-in, add-on, they're two different things. That breaks quite often too, or stalls, and you have to sign out and sign back in.
I'm curious, John, where did you get that breaking in from? Is that just in the community? People are...
Yeah, just saw a post in the community.
Yeah.
It'll probably be fixed by the time anyone watches it.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I'm calling it.
Giving us 8 minutes back of our lives?
You can have 8 minutes back.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here?
You can stay here. I'm happy to pass host if someone wants it. But yeah. Come join us next week. We'll be back here banging on it again with our 2 community super champions. Oh, that is worth celebrating. Congratulations on everything that you do for the Zoom community. All right, folks. Have a lovely weekend.
That effect was worth getting Ecamm for, just for that.
Isn't it? Just for that. That's why I got it. Have a great day, everyone. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're supposed to play the closing music, not just shut down.
Well, unfortunately...
We'll hum us out.
Yeah.
Could play the Lord Zoom version.
Do it. Are we clear? Are we off the air? Where's Mike today?
Right now, we're still broadcasting to YouTube.
Mike is up to his armpits in NAM.
Oh, okay. Busy
the
guy.
NAM show.
Yeah, the NAM show. Where is that? Any idea? I could Google it, but I'm not gonna. But anyways, shout out to Mike.
Yeah, I think it's Callyway, but I don't think they physically went there. I think they're just supporting it remotely.
Sure. Well, I wish you all a happy weekend. Stay warm. It's quite cold where I am, and it's about to get colder. Polar vortex coming to get us. Bye, Tamara. All right. Cheers.